Welcome to the Get Down Podcast. I'm your host for the day. My name is Edgar Menu. Some of y'all go by Kofi. To my right, I have my co-host. You want to introduce yourself? You want to just smile at them and point? Okay.
I find it hard to think. Some days are easier to. I find it hard to think. Some days are easier to.
It's always good to like it's when doing this podcast. Like I'm always excited because I'm like, you know, I'm always excited about the things that we have to say. I'm always excited about the things like we get to talk about. Um, always the fun we get to have. This
Mm.
is always almost an exciting moment that we get.
Yeah, looking good by the way.
Thanks.
With Alpha from as well as we gotta do it. Who to the
Fit check. Okay.
outfit of the day? Yeah.
Fit check.
Oh great heavens! Ain't nobody
Um,
tell you to stand up, but okay. Now you can, bro. Shut you already up. This.
I'm kidding. Anyway, so this is from Sheen.
Mm.
This is from Cantamanto. Cantamanto.
Shouts out to Ghana, man.
7 a.m. Cantamanto.
Great heavens. Okay.
My socks is from Walmart.
What are you talking about? The socks? That boy going in detail.
My socks is from Walmart, and my shoes from Kohl's.
Okay.
Shout out to Kohl's. But Cantamanto.
Right. The most indestructible. Whatever you get from there is indestructible. It will last you longer than your body would ever.
Child, this thing has gone on mission everywhere.
I'm telling you.
Everywhere.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Oh, you're looking good. Today you switch out from the gangster.
What gangster?
Mode. No, the last time you're like.
What was that face you just made right there? I am clipping that. You best believe I'm clipping that. Anywho, I mean it's Sunday, right?
On Sunday.
Sunday, and you know what I'm saying? Like you said, I gotta rotate a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, I'll be the host for today. So today we have a very interesting topic, but it's not really interesting. It's more so like a debate that I've been seeing going on around.
Okay.
And y'all feel free to chime in the comments.
A debate between who?
Well, it's like pro or against social media.
Oh.
And its benefits or disadvantages. If you think, I'll pose this question to you first. Do you think social media is progressing or regressing society? Yes, which one?
Yes.
It is progressing society.
No, it is regressing.
Okay. Probably have made that distinction when I asked, but okay.
No, but you said yes. You said, do you think
it's progressing or regressing? And you say yes.
No. You said, do you think it's progressing or regressing society? Yes or no? Like you asked.
I didn't say yes or no.
You said yes or no.
When I said it.
That's what you just said right now.
Oh, if I did, I apologize. But I'm saying that progressing. Okay, let's again. Do you think social media is progressing or regressing society?
No, you can't put. Okay, it's regressing society.
Simple. See how easy that was? See how easy that was? Okay, now what is your reason as to why it's regressing?
I feel like, to be honest, social media has taken us a couple of centuries back.
Centuries. Great heavens. All right. Please do tell.
Because we have seen a lot of changes that have happened.
This is very true.
A lot of things that in the past used to be
abnormal, unheard of. Right.
But in today's time, it's something of a norm.
I'm talking about any or like you know exactly what I'm talking about. You not seen that?
What's in it?
Bro, I'm talking about. You ain't see that? No. I'm not doing the motion. I'm not doing the motion.
Well, is it like a pop-up?
Dead doing that motion.
Oh my goodness.
Is y'all y'all know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But I'm saying like the trends that people are doing.
Trends, yeah.
That would never if like
was back
in the day they're gonna be like,
bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So like it has taken us back. It has taken us like the whole way back. I feel like it's almost like a cycle. It's almost like a cycle of time. Where things used to be, or it used to be shone upon, but now as time goes on, that cycle or time gives us back those time events into a new generation, and the new generation instead of like like shunning it, kind of like embraces it. And so that's why I feel like that's what time is happening. Like time is doing to us as human beings, and things are just recycling, and we're like, oh, we like it. It's not a big thing
Mm-hmm.
like our forefathers used to claim it was,
Mm.
but we are cool with it.
Well, do you think there's some trends that, like you just ended that with, do you
Mhm.
think there's some trends that were back then that people may have looked at too harsh that people are doing now that's like more power to you?
Well, mine can't really come to a trend that happened, but like I can talk about certain social,
Constructs.
yeah,
Right.
that maybe what, because let's look at, because I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ. And you are too. As we look at a little bit back into the American history, we know that the church was like, at some point in time, the church was like, or the government was against the church because of the whole polygamy situation and everything. But now we live in the in the same US of A, where we have people who are like, this is a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
They one guy has, five, six partners. They have kids and everything, and it seemed like a normal. It seemed like this is the life.
So you're attributing that to social media?
Yeah, because I feel like people go on social media and they make it look like it's the best thing ever.
Mm.
For me personally, I don't see it as like a good thing. Um, I feel like when you have one person, that one person like should matter the world to you. My person, she matters the world to me. And you guys have seen in all the episode, I always talk about my girl because she's the best. And I feel like once you have that kind of person in your life, you want to just keep the person.
What does got to do with social media?
What you got to do with social media is that
No disrespect to your thing, but what does it got
my
to do with the topic?
my girl.
Your girlfriend. Sorry.
What I mean, but because social, that I'm saying, social media has made it look like um it's supposed to be a norm
Mm-hmm.
where anybody can have six, five partners, um, and it's not a thing that was bad like it was in the past. I don't know. And so there's social media just changing times.
Mm-hmm.
We things that used to be bad in the old times, now social media is like, it's cool, it's fancy, it's nice. So yeah.
Well, you brought up a topic about like social constructs, for example, and I mean, there are many, many, many things that you could talk about in terms of social constructs that were very much frowned upon or
Yeah.
praised in the
Mhm.
past
Yeah.
compared to now.
Mhm.
And whether it be dressing or the respect your elders kind of thing, and you don't talk back to your elders, or women aren't allowed in certain places. So times, like you said, have advanced.
Oh yeah.
And
Big time.
before I make a conclusion on anything,
Mhm.
I do a pros and cons list. That kind of
Perfect.
that
Makes
kind
sense.
of gives me,
How good is it?
yeah, it kind of puts me in a place where I'm like, okay, I can make a decision.
Yeah.
And in this topic, I would obviously things like monetization,
Yeah.
right? Social media makes a lot of people a lot of money,
A lot of money.
a whole lot of money.
If you guys follow us, subscribe, you guys will make money. There was no way I'm gonna turn it down.
So you're saying that they should help you make money?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Money Launder over here, Mr.
Money
Mon-
launderer.
Money
Sheesh.
longer, whatever the word is. He's over here trying to get money from y'all. I'm over here trying to educate y'all
Barman.
on topics. Yeah, I going like crazy on that. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that was a crazy bomb.
Money long man.
But anyway,
Anyway.
back to the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
People make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, from like for example, we from
Mm-hmm.
Ghana. If you went and told an old head your profession is a content creator, they will probably dismiss you and tell you to go back to school and pick up that book. And you tell until you show them like, this is how much money I'm making, it's X amount of money. Then they'll be like, how I start? How I start? That's like for real. That's like how I start.
No, but should the thing always be about the money you make, or it it's supposed to be about how much you enjoy.
Well, Harold, that's
what
the
you do.
problem though, because once you okay, here's the thing. So like socially,
Yeah,
once you hit a certain age,
yeah.
it's not about fun anymore.
That's
Life
true.
has happened.
Life is
Life has began.
Mhm.
So when you hit 21, 22, 20, in some countries,
Mhm.
when you're even 15, 14, 13,
Life is happening.
life has happened to you. So fun and all that can be had in moderation, but that significantly topples down.
Yeah.
Whether it be because of family situations or whatever the case may be,
Mhm.
all those things regress
Yeah.
as life has began. So to get to your question,
Mhm.
fun is cool,
Yeah.
but the money is what sustains you for
Throughout.
for however long you want to be alive.
Mhm.
If you are fortunate enough in life to do something you love and make a great
Good
amount
amount
of
of money.
living from it, by all means you've struck out. But the majority of people don't have that though.
Yeah.
Majority of people do that like as a hobby.
Mhm. Yeah.
I talk on social media as a hobby,
Yeah.
but you hope to get paid. You love to do it, but you hope to get paid, but you don't get paid. So therefore, you drop that
Like
and move on. Again, Mr. Money Hoarder over here.
money
But
holder.
yeah, so it's not necessarily about you can like doing stuff for your enjoyment. There are plenty
Yeah.
of people that do things they don't want to do.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't want to work. A lot of people don't. I can guarantee you, if something was to happen and everyone got $1 million+ every single human being,
Yeah.
about I can almost say confidently, about 50% of the workforce globally will stop working, just because like
I feel like it's happening now.
what do you mean?
Because now everybody is content creator.
Yeah,
Everybody. A
you,
lot of people are content creators.
yeah,
Marriage people. It's all about making content about the marriage, you
hmm
know. And I feel like that's also another thing that social media kind of like makes it seem
yes, that
like,
is very true.
like
Yes,
it's all
Habibi come to Dubai. Habibi come to Dubai.
it's all roses,
Yep.
but
hmm
it's not really that way because you have all like marriage is great, even like in a relationships are great, but I feel like social media makes it look like two in a certain way, um, and they kind of like trying to give relationships of advice. Do this to your lady, do this for a lady, do this for a man, do this for a man, do this for a lady, and it's almost like wait, so what is what?
Right.
And
Sparks a lot of confusion.
they forget to tell you that everybody's different.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to know the person you are into. Um, for an example I'll give is my life in my relationship right now. There are sometimes when I can be talking with my girlfriend, and I'll be like, hey, like I'll be talking about something, or I'll be acting a certain way. Um, and then she'll be like, oh, I'm not that kind of person, you know. And I'm like, oh,
Communication.
that's nice, but
hmm
and that's because that's an effect social media has had on me. Where I think is maybe that's what the ladies like, but that's not what my girl likes. She's like, no, that's not who I am. Like, plain example, we're talking about what is it called? Is it your month animal Sagittarius and all those kind of
Did you just
classes?
say month animal?
What is it called? Like
Your
star,
star sign?
your star sign. Thank you.
Huh? God have mercy upon us.
Sorry, mother. Your star sign, and so like talking about Sagittarius, and the characteristics and everything. So like, oh no,
You
that's
believe in those?
hmm?
Do you believe in those?
I don't. But I was telling her that when I came to Utah, when I moved to Utah, it felt like it was a big thing in America where you had to know this for a girl, because they thought it was
Right.
it's skewing guys,
Right.
and she's like, yeah, I'm not that kind of girl, and so that's one effect social media tends to have on people, and make it look like a general statement that this is what boys like
hmm
or this is what girls like, but it's not really that way. You got to know the person you
Right.
are with. You got to know what she likes or what he likes, and it depends. It's different for everyone.
It is.
Yeah.
And like you said,
Mm,
it will have a long lasting effect on some people.
long lasting.
Whether it be relationships, situationships,
Yeah.
friendships, shipships, it don't matter. Because
Ships.
You will think that the grass is greener. You'll make the mistake and
No.
think that that grass is greener somewhere else.
No.
But you forget the fact that you're selling your house for a hotel.
True.
So
True.
social media and everything is cut up as it's supposed to be. But yeah, pros and cons list, monetization and money, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But on the con side, again, grass is greener on the other side makes you
Yeah.
think that things could be better.
Better.
And it could also take your view
Mhm.
to a bit, like to an extent, it can take your view
A lot.
on
A lot.
whether it be political issues, racial issues, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, there's not really anyone like I understand For You page, for example, is
Mhm.
it's pretty much an accumulation of what you
What you're
search the
into.
most.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So whatever you see, you are responsible for.
Mhm.
You went out and look for, unless someone in some instances that's different, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone needs to be a little bit more aware
Mhm.
of what you're feeding your brain. Because I tell this to my closest people all the time.
Mhm.
What you feed your brain is a result. Who you are is a result of what you feed your brain.
That's true.
Who you are is a result of what you feed your brain. So if you listen to music or pages, you follow pages that talk about or depict or show
Mhm.
or instill things of violence, of nudity, of money, of
That's
drugs and all that. Well, guess what?
that's who you are.
Guess what, buddy? When you walk outside your place or your room or whatever, and you go talk to your next person,
Mhm.
ain't gonna be no substance to you. All that you're thinking about is those 5 things that you heard in the music video or you saw in it. I'm saying it's not everything in moderation.
Mhm.
I'm not telling you how to live your life,
Mhm.
but everything in moderation.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to this, if you want to do this, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
As you mentioned, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints,
Yeah.
we are taught line upon line, precept upon precept. Hear a little, there a
Yeah,
little. So everything comes in moderation.
Mhm.
But you just fill your head with songs and things that you know for a fact.
Mhm.
If you were a parent, sorry, if you were a parent
Mhm.
and someone was meeting your child, daughter, son, whatever,
Yeah.
and the person you're meeting like their partner,
Mhm.
and the person you can't have a like intellectual conversation with them,
Mhm.
you know for a fact that okay, I don't want this person to be around my family.
Yeah.
Why would you then proceed to become that person? You know
That's
what I
true.
mean?
That's true.
So I think social media and has played a big role in doing stuff like that. So
That's true.
yeah,
But let me ask you this question because
Mhm.
we are also making this is social media. We are trying to make content here.
right,
And I feel like when we started this podcast, it was to educate people out there
right,
about little things in life, little things that you might notice, or little things that you are being obscured from, and so bringing out that little things, and allow and that we talk about on this podcast and help you to see new light about it. That's why we started in the first place. So this is all social media. But Edgar, I have to say this. Over the past, like all the episodes you've made, even I know you have your own platform that you're on and everything, and even today at church, massive testimony, massive statement.
sure.
What is one thing can give our viewers today, or what is one quote that you can give our viewers today that they can relate to?
Mm. Um. Okay, so I play soccer
Mm,
and I'm an athlete, and sometimes it's difficult to go to the gym, or as a student as well, it's
yeah,
difficult to do your homework after a long day or whatever the case may
yeah.
be. But
I still have pending assignments.
nice, nice. But actually, yeah. So you may feel lazy or whatever the case may
Yeah,
be to do something, or you just demotivated.
yeah.
But the quote I will give out is
Mm-hmm.
stick to the plan, not to your mood.
Oof.
And the reason I say that
Oh,
is
sorry. Can
because
you say that again, please?
stick to the plan and not to your mood.
Oh, sorry. One more time.
This
It's
guy.
so good. Stick to the plan and not your move.
Stick to the plan and not your mood.
Yeah.
If you
Oof.
are planning to become
Mm-hmm.
somebody in life,
Mm-hmm.
you really think that there's not going to be some sort of roller coaster you have to go on to be on that? Any
Definitely.
successful person.
Definitely.
I follow shop. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to the School of Hard Knocks. It's this guy that goes around the world and he just gives out like he goes and interviews successful people, entrepreneurs mostly, and they give him pieces of advice that are important. And the thing that's cool about him is that he asks them, "Did you come with a lot of money?" They almost all of them say, "Absolutely not." Did everyone doubt you? Absolutely yes. But what kept you going? And you hear a variety of different things, but the main subject or the main thing they're talking about is you stuck to the plan. You stuck to the plan, you stuck to the plan, you didn't stick to your move. Because there are days that you're gonna be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to work out. I don't want to do this assignment. I don't want to study this book. I don't want. But you have an end goal in life. Your 10-year-old self, 20-year-old self, whenever you came up with that dream of what you want to be, you have a what you call it. You have a contractual agreement with yourself to not give up that goal and let yourself down. Otherwise, you end up as one of those people who are doom scrolling and then are looking to like living your dream life in other people.
True.
Where you will live the rest of your life with regret just because if you want to post that content, post that content. If you want to run that 500k miles, whatever, run that 500k. If you want to, you know what I'm saying, use Rogaine to fix your hairline, use Rogaine. I'm sorry. It's an ongoing joke from our last episode.
I feel like the next time I'm gonna be like that guy. What's he called? The guy with the big forehead.
There are a lot of people with big foreheads on social media.
The streamer with the big forehead. What's his name? Or even
KSI?
Like KSI or Quentin Shoulder, you know.
Oh, great heavens.
Bring like a cup or something. Because the way you're talking about my hairline.
Hey man, it's looking good. I'm not saying mine is perfect, but yours is looking what you want to say. What you about to say?
Nothing.
Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, that'll probably be the number one thing because you have an end goal in life. You want to get to that end goal, whether it be graduate school, whether it be sign a professional contract, maybe it be both, whether it be being on the biggest, hottest TV show, whether it be being the biggest, hottest musician, streamer, whatever the case may be.
Dissing people about their hairlines and hairstyle.
If that's what you want to be, if you want to be a comic, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, stick to the plan, not your mood. And your mood doesn't just have to be depression or demotivated. I'm also not knocking those moods. I'm just saying that is that really what's going to sway you away from your end goal? Yeah. Because if that's what sways you away from your end goal, then it means you never really for real really wanted that. Unless it's just not physically possible for you to. I was like, say some guy is staying in Katamandu. No possible way of coming to America and being an entrepreneur. No possible.
Wait, so is it only in America that you can be an entrepreneur?
No, but I'm saying if that's someone's dream back there, because you know we're from Ghana.
No, but Katamandu, can the person not open his own fashion line from Katamandu?
Yes, but then you also want to be like Virgil Abloh. And you have no way of connecting with and also scratch that. Let's say a 70-year-old guy in Katamandu wants to come to America. You have no connections. That's what I'm saying. Like, unless it's physically impossible or unless financially impossible, whatever the case may be, for you to be able to afford that lifestyle. But if you really, 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 really want it,
but I feel like you're killing the person. It's good to dream.
It's good to dream.
So even a 70-year-old, allow him to dream.
I ain't holding your neck, bro. I ain't holding your neck, boss. I'm just trying to set an example. So yeah, moral of the story. Stick to the plan, not to your mood. Because I can guarantee you stuck to that plan long enough, you will get to where you want to go. And when you get to where you want to go, you will look back on all the moods you had while you were on that way to success. And you will be like, I cannot believe y'all really thought that would turn me down.
Yeah. And I feel like I like that quote because I feel like that's something that even content creators have stuck to.
Yeah.
You know. I was listening to Cody Sheldon the other day. For those who don't know who Cody Sheldon is, he's one of Ghana's top social media creators. The first guy, KSI. Listen to him. He has good stuff.
He has who? Cody Sheldon?
Sorry, not KSI.
Bro.
KSS.
Okay.
Sorry, I said KSI. KSS. A great guy. But that's something all social media creators have stuck to. Stick to the plan, know your mood. And like we're talking about social media. Social media is a great thing.
Mhm.
It's a fantastic thing. It's just that there are some cons to it that are not really good when it comes to like relationships, lifestyle. And I feel like it's one reason why sometimes people's lifestyle have gone down the drain
But
because we all look into for example, let me cite this example. No, don't get me wrong, exercising is great, eating healthy is great, but there are sometimes that people make it so almost like a whole religion or a whole cult when it comes to exercising and eating healthy, that it's not really healthy. And some people will see that like, oh, I now have to be drinking beetroot juice
mm,
or something disgusting every single time. But pick your poison and just make sure your poison doesn't kill you. Um, but that's why I feel like it has a, like you said, the way the pros and the cons, and it just depends on you. Just depends on you.
yeah. So you made mention now the next question after
Mhm.
that long allude. We made mention that it's
Mhm.
regressing,
As
right?
well.
You think society is regressing as a
It's
result of social media?
yeah, somehow.
How do you think we can get back to growing and progressing
Um, I think one way we can
from
get
your view? I should say that.
yeah, I think one way we can get back um to progressing is staying true to who we are.
Mm,
Um, and I know that it's not as easy as it sounds because we live as human beings. We are all like societal beings, and so it's the other people influence who we are and what we are. Um, but staying true to who we are and what we know. Because like I was talking about, the polygamy kind of style. It's not something that is. Some people will see that and be like, oh, it's normal now, so I
mm,
can do it also. But just think of how will other people feel if it's something that you are used to. The ladies you're around are okay with it. That's staying true to who you are. So that's you. Um, but if you are asking me how can we get back on track, it's stay true to who you are. Don't try and be someone else. Don't try and be somebody. Don't try and fit yourself in somebody's perspective, especially especially relationships. Because that's why I feel like social media is turning things to the wrong side.
yeah.
Um, making relationships feel like a material thing
Sure.
when it's not really a material
Yeah.
thing. Trust me, it's so much more. Um, I at some point was losing faith in relationships altogether because I felt it was so material.
Mm,
Um, but now that I'm the one myself, it feels like it's something that is different. It's special. It's true. And so if we shift that opinion from it being material and a lot of things all being material stuff, um, just stay true to who you are. That's how I feel like we can get back on
yeah. I will piggyback actually off of what you said, staying
social
true to who you are and not having things being transactional.
media. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because for one, you start off doing something because you love to do it. Do not feel pressured by someone else that you may
Mm-hmm.
see online to do
Mm-hmm.
something specifically just because it worked out for them does not mean it worked out for you. Just because they had it done A, B, C, D, they figured it out that way for themselves.
Yeah.
Maybe they stole the blueprint from somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
but it worked for them specifically because of who they are as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
I always say this: you came to this world by yourself.
Yep.
You will leave this earth by yourself.
Not even leave this earth. You'll make it by yourself. If you want to make it, you'll make it by yourself.
Exactly. So obviously, again, like you said, human
Mm-hmm.
beings are social creatures.
Yeah.
So you pick and draw things from other people and other sources,
True.
stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the core person, who is Harold, who is Edgar, that core person has to stay intact. Because
True.
if you're not, then what makes you different than what makes you original?
True.
There's been first cars, there's been first electric cars, first guys to walk on the moon,
Yeah.
first time we've ever seen robots that are looking like human beings. We've ever seen people breaking
Okay.
records and all that in sports.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen a first of you. We have not seen a first of you. You're
Mhm.
one of one. And
One
as
of one.
cliche as that may sound, it is very true. Because now that I'm getting into this space
Yeah.
and watching and learning from all these great sources and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, there's an important thing that has to keep you original. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why his hairline. I'm always be roasting for the rest of life. I'm sorry.
Well,
Your hairline, I'm always be talking about it until
so,
the end
but
of
my
time.
hairline is original.
Yeah, original, right? That shape, that goalpost shape is original. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can roast me too. I ain't saying I'm perfect, but yeah.
Anyway, today's a Sunday. Today
Yeah.
is a Sabbath
That's
day.
the testimony.
I feel I
Yeah.
feel like that. And I feel like you guys, this episode may be, a lot of, inspirational quotes, topics that we're talking about. And I maybe because of the Sunday spirit that is still in play. But I feel like it's a great episode for you to learn and to know new stuff. And for you to understand a new perspective of things. Ask yourself, what how am I living my life? Well, there are two things I'm gonna say now, and one is what Carl Williams said. He said, if you live every day like our last, um, will make a huge impact in our lives. Because every day like it's your last day on this loving earth, it will be like it will be special to you. And the second thing, Eminem also said, if you had a chance, to do something, are you gonna turn it down? I feel like that's a big question. If you have your chance today, take your chance today. Um, take that experience you have. You need to do something.
Yeah, it's great advice.
Good advice.
Can't top that. I'm just gonna let that be our closing
I'm,
remarks.
I'm happy. I'm happy you can top that because that hairline is original.
That is also getting whatever he just did with his tongue right there is also getting
Ruby.
Why are you? Oh my gosh. Why you still? Okay. Anywho,
Anyway,
thank you for tuning in to the Get Down podcast. Hopefully, you came out with this episode
yeah.
more educated.
Mhm.
Again, these are also our personal views.
Yeah, our personal views.
Just want to give that disclaimer so you
Yeah.
may feel like we're not trying to tell you how to live your life.
Nope.
These are just things that, from listening to other
Mhm.
people and also gathering information for ourselves
Yeah.
and also applying common sense.
Yeah.
We feel like, the world is going in a very odd place right now. And in order for us to get back to who we were, who we are, it's important to remember why the way we are and look deep inside ourselves. And and the reason I brought this topic is just because majority of that is attributed to social media.
Yep.
So, and the things we consume and listen. So, yeah, I think that the things that we talked about are great. And if you have anything you want to add yourself, by all means, the comment section is always open. We love hearing feedback from y'all. And until next time, see you on the Get Down podcast.
The Get Down podcast. By the way, I love this setting. The chairs, the flowers.
Right.
Yeah.
More homie.
More
homie.
Yeah, more homie.
And the couch.
I feel like a can.
A what?
A can.
A what?
A can.
Spell that word.
Can.
Yeah.
K-I-G.
Huh?
K-I-G.
Huh?
K-I-G.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys.